Go, here we go. All right, so welcome to another Zoom session. I am very elated that I get the opportunity to meet on this platform every other Tuesday. I am very, very elated about that. We have been going since January and we are now in the month of October. Can't believe
Woo!
it's almost a year. Jesus.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I feel very emotional about it, having, you know, being consistent with something,
Yeah.
having to balance it is just something. Um, Before I even get into what we have for tonight, uh, I believe the Lord has been speaking to me regarding um, the social media platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the other persons who have joined. To be honest, last year about December, the Lord spoke to me about TikTok, and whilst I have been on TikTok, I don't think I have been pushing it as much as I probably should. And so I after a while we'll be moving on to TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And then for persons who may want private sessions, I'll have scheduled Zoom with them so that they can, get the help that they need. I am also working on a book and I get very excited whenever I work on the book because the book will basically be about identity, helping persons to understand and form their identity. Pray for me as I learn to manage and balance all these things that I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pray for me as well because I believe I also struggle with, just a little, I don't know if it's fear because I don't necessarily feel fearful, or I don't know if it's self-sabotage. I don't know. But I just want to put myself out there and do the
Yeah.
difficult thing and, walk in what God has called me to.
Yes.
So pray me up, guys.
Yes.
So let me do a quick check-in. How is everyone doing today? How was your day? How was your week?
I have been okay. Well, I've
Mm-hmm.
been good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's like one of those weeks or lately where it's just been nothing new, but it's steady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I am good.
Okay,
I'm
that's
good.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Your voice does sound like you not maybe not all perfect, but your voice does sound like you're
Yeah.
quite content, like in a good place.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
Mentally, I'm good. So that's good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Compared to where I've been before in the early part of this year to now, I consider where I'm at a very good place.
Okay.
So I'm just grateful.
All right, that's awesome. Anybody else wants to share about how they're doing, how their week has been going? Hi, Miss Young. Hi, Jason, darling. So good to see you on.
Hi.
It's just a pleasure to hear from you. I know that you're not the most, person to click on and talk, but that's fine. All
You're
right.
right.
Yes. So another update that I have for you guys as well. My week has been going. I mean, today's only Tuesday, but um, I've been going on and on. I've been pretty productive. Girly Pop has been going to the gym, and I'm very proud of myself for that. I've been consistent for over a month, but I just need to get my nutrition in check because I like to eat food. But pray for me. But otherwise, I have been Okay, I really have been okay, and I bless the Lord for that. So that's the checkup on me. Another update is that I'm planning an event for us, but I'm still not sure exactly how the Lord would want me to go about it. I'm either thinking about like a brunch party or like a party or like an event where we dress up. I like to dress up. I don't know. So if you guys have, any idea or any preference, you can let me know. But I really want something that is um inclusive but classy and luxurious, different, where we can come socialize, network, and learn and grow from each other and just do the thing. So if you have any ideas, please feel free to let me know. All right, so hey Tatiana, welcome. Let's begin. Look at my picture. What do you see? You see eyes? Go little girl. What do you guys see?
I see a monkey or a gorilla and I think that's a lion.
Okay.
And
All
a
right.
tree.
All right.
I see fishes too.
Yeah, I see them too. All right, next one. What do you see?
Ooh, what's this? I see something looking like a woman's head, side profile.
Mm-hmm.
But what's on her head? What is this?
Right on the side profile. Do you look deeper? Do you see anything else? Because I'm seeing an old woman with something on her head.
Yes! Yes!
You
Oh
see it
my
now?
goodness, yes, I'm seeing that now. And she looked like she had on like a coat or a jacket or
Yeah,
something.
like something fur
Yeah,
like.
fur, yeah.
Okay. Right, nice. I hope everybody else sees those. The young lady with her head turned and the old woman with her head kind of rested in her fur coat.
And a crooked nose, like.
Mm-hmm. She have a ring. Mm. All right, next one. What are you seeing?
I see, oh, I see different heads in the tree. I see different heads. I think I see what one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Seven different heads, if not more. Hold on, is more. It's a whole lot of faces.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if we can count them as we
Let's
look
see.
deeper and deeper.
Yeah. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. Mm, I said 10. There may be more.
All right, I'll work with
I
whatever
see
number.
11.
See 11.
Good job.
So,
Yeah, next one with the glass here, right here.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I sit above the lady head. I count that one in my 10. So which one I miss? Mm,
All right. I don't know how many you guys see. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, I don't know. Let's see the others.
Ooh. But I see four and I see three too.
Okay.
Depending on
Right.
the angle.
Mm-hmm. So who is wrong or who is right?
Both of them are right. Perspective matters.
Okay. Valid point. What do you see?
Something looking like a duck, yeah. A
You
duck's
see a
head.
mm-hmm. Anybody see you see a duck, anybody sees like a rabbit?
Ooh, yes. Like,
Okay.
yes.
All right. So one turn one way, one turn the
Yeah,
other
turn the
way.
other way, yeah.
Yes. All right. Welcome to the other persons who have joined. Tell me, what do you see?
I see two old people, but then I see people sitting down in their faces.
Mm,
One
Okay.
playing a guitar, and then there's a woman coming out the man. In the man head like through a doorway.
Okay. Anybody sees a lampshade?
In the middle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, let's see if we have any more. All right, so the question is, how do you feel about the images you were looking at? What does it mean to you? What does it say?
Hmm. Um, I'm guessing depending on the perspective, like you see different things, or like one picture can have different meanings
Mm-hmm.
or messages.
Mm-hmm. And I also heard conversation about who saw 10, who saw 11. So
Right.
sometimes some persons may see more or see less.
Yes.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
all right. I hope we're following. So the topic for tonight is not necessarily a new topic to this
Mm-hmm.
platform, but I felt the need to first to discuss this as the year is slowly approaching a close. We are in the Ember months. Just finished
Mm-hmm.
September, we're in October, then we have November and December. So if we're really going to level up, we really have to engage in some soul searching.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the the Bible says, and Tanisha can help me quote this one too, that out of the heart
Mm-hmm.
is the issues of life. And
Yeah.
we know that when we talk about the heart, it's the soul. It's
So.
used interchangeably with the soul. And so if we are having issues within our heart, issues within our souls, then it will pose a problem for us to truly level up. And there's another scripture that says, Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health and prosper as your soul prospers. I'm not saying exactly, but that's the point of it.
Mm,
So, with that scripture, if your soul is not prospering, then there might be a capping to the level that you will get to. So, we don't want any capping on us. We don't want any capping at all, and we want us to level all the way up. Last week, not last week, the week before, I would have gone in depth and spoke about, who you are. And for those who weren't here, we spoke about man, as in human beings, being a triune being. And though when you see tri, it means three, means that you're a three-part being, which means that you have a body, just like you have a nice voluptuous shape, or whether you're straight or you whatever, you have a beautiful face. So that's your body. You also have a soul and you have a spirit. Let me redefine these things for you since some persons weren't here last week. Your spirit is your innermost being that connects with God. So it's that your spirit is that part of you that wants more, meaning that it yearns to connect with a higher purpose, to connect with God Himself. And that's why sometimes you may just know things. Like I say, somebody didn't know that, or if it's something, some reason, something they just tell me, say this did go happen. So that's your spirit connecting with you. Your body as again your physical being, how you connect with the world, especially through your five senses, your touch, your smell, your seeing, your smelling, and whichever other one I forget. And tonight we're talking about the soul. All right, so that's just a bit of an introduction before, trust me, we're gonna get into some real nitty gritty. And I would love for us to be open and honest. I know that this is a platform where some of you don't know each other and you may not want to, disclose your business, but trust me, it's good when you can talk and you can get perspectives. And so many persons are feeling alone. You don't have to feel alone. We're here so far online. I think I only see just us as ladies. Let me check who's here. Yeah, so we can truly help each other. All right. So tonight we're gonna be doing some soul searching so we can heal, so we can grow, so we can level up. So, soul searching is one of those deep personal journeys that can mean different things to different people. It's about life's reflection. So you spend time reflecting on yourself, you question yourself, and you seek clarity on who you truly are what you value, and where you are headed in this life. So you spend time learning about you. You might need to do some soul searching now in your life. Maybe you're married, maybe you're not married, maybe you have kids, maybe you've experienced the loss of a loved one, maybe there's a major life change, maybe you migrate, what, I don't know. Or maybe you just feel stuck, right? So for others, it's intentional, like taking time away from distraction to connect with God, purpose, and identity. So you may want to spend some time and just um sit with yourself. A lot of the times we don't spend time with our own self. We spend time with kids, we spend time with family, friends, we spend time at work, but we never really take time for ourselves. You hurry bed, you hurry brush your teeth, you hurry sleep, you hurry put on your clothes, you hurry to work, or you're probably scrolling online. But when was the last time you really paused to take care of you and think about Tanisha, think about Chezan, think about you. So my question is, does anybody know what the soul is? What is your soul? Let me see if I can help you with what's your soul? Or when you hear the word soul, what comes to your mind?
I like to think it's that part of me that houses all the things I've experienced in life. That's really that has my identity. So like you have on screen my mind, my will, my emotions. So it will tell me exactly who I am as a person. My identity is really found in my soul.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing that. Anybody else wants to take a shot? Very good, Tanisha. So smart. So your soul, and we kind of just breaking things down before we get into the conversation. So your soul, for those who don't know, it comprises of three parts. So you have your mind, your brain up your soul, what that you used to think and reason and reflect, and you say, all right, I gotta get paid. Should I buy the car parts this week, or should I buy bundles, or should I save because I want to buy a TV? I don't know. I feel like somebody want to buy one new TV. I don't know who is that. You know, it's and then you have your emotions, your ability to feel. So you're so in love, or you're just angry, or you just feel sad. And then you have your will, which is your power to make decisions. So while you have your feelings, you don't always have to act on certain the feeling that you have, because you have thought it through and realized that though I feel angry, I'm thinking about it. Say, if I murder this person, I'm going to go to prison, and therefore you use your will to choose not to murder the person, even though you're angry. So you rationalize, you think again, and then you decide to just go for a walk or talk it through with somebody. So that's all happening within your soul, right? So for those who are visual learners and like a little, you can turn your attention to the screen. So your mind is where thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions are formed. And like Tanisha was saying, that all your experiences, they're stored in your mind. So from when you were little and your little sister or your sibling never give you another sweetie, or your mother did beat you for whatever reason, or your father bought you something and you did love it, your first bicycle that brings you joy. So all of that is in your mind. Um, 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 um. So what we believe about ourselves, about others, and God. So many of our struggles come deeply from ingrained beliefs from childhood, as I was saying. Some persons who used to watch cable TV back in the day, and they never used to like your hair. You wonder, why am I here no longer straight and like some others would. So all of that is going on in there. So I don't want to go through all of this, because there's a specific part that I would want us to go to. Let me skip through and see where we are at. All right, so that's this is a quick run through. So in your soul, you also deal with, some person deal with negative thinking, and some persons deal with issues like um all or nothing. Everything has to be perfect. Some persons um negatively label themselves, and all of those issues take place in your soul and cause a problem and not want you to level up. So our emotions are indicators of our inner condition. Many avoid soul searching because it forces them to confront pain, trauma, or unhealed wounds. However, emotional healing is necessary for leveling up. All right, so my question to you tonight is, how are you feeling? How have you really been feeling? I don't know if anybody wants to share. And here are some emotions on the screen to kind of help you put words to your emotions if you need help with that. Let me see who else is on here. Hi Fabian, hi Carol, welcome. So how have you been feeling? Have you been feeling happy? Have you been feeling sad? Have you been feeling neglected? Like why? All right. Is this a private message? I don't want to read it out loud and it's a private message. No, it doesn't seem like a private message. One person here is saying, I'm feeling lonely. Can you pinpoint where the loneliness is coming from? Thank you, Tatiana. I just realized it's not a private. I never wanted to read it out because I know sometimes persons don't want their thing to be public. So so that's Tatiana's feeling. How about the others? How are you really feeling? Do you love the job that you're in? Do you Are you happy in your relationship, whether you're married or you're single, you're dating? Do you feel content with where you are at in your life? Is
Mm.
there Go ahead.
No, we're not content.
All right, go ahead and share. This is where the conversations begin, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I am not content, but I'm grateful, but to say content, I am not because I'm still trying to reach certain, just milestones. I think
Mm-hmm.
I feel I'm hopeful, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel as if sometimes I'm just overwhelmed and lonely.
Mm-hmm. All
So
right.
it's like I'm really just trying to push, but really if I
Mm-hmm.
could just say, man, I'm just somebody else just do this because I can't.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you
Yeah,
for
it's a mixture.
that. All right. Thank you for sharing that. So we see, forgive me, I'm searching for the other part of the presentation. So we see that Tanisha has opened up and expressed that she's lonely as well. Tatiana, how do you feel, Tatiana, knowing that you're not the only person feeling lonely? Tassie, are you there? If she types in the chat, Tanisha, can you read it as well? Because I don't.
Sure.
Mhm.
Fabian says he has a mixture of everything.
All
Lol.
right. LOL. All right, Fabian, can you put any label to those emotions at all? Like you feel lonely, you feel sad, we want to dig deeper so we can really work through the things that bother us.
Tatiana says she kind of feels better. I guess that's in
Mm-hmm.
response to your question.
Mm-hmm. Knowing that,
She's not alone in feeling lonely.
yes. Okay. Um, Anybody else before I ask the next question?
Zolika says same.
Okay.
And Carol says hi, Rashina, and everyone here. Heart emoji. So
Right.
she's just joining.
Welcome. All right. So we have a few lonely people on here. I think this might sound, please don't judge me, guys. This might sound weird. I know that people sometimes quickly judge married people for certain things they say. I'm married, but there are times when I do feel lonely. And I believe that for me too, my loneliness comes from, it's not marital. I think it's like friendship. I always desire deep friendships. I don't know why, but I don't feel like I have friendships as deep as I would want them to. So, since a bunch of persons are lonely on here, what advice do you have? So, Tatiana, what advice do you have for Tanisha? Zoe, what advice do you have for Tatiana? Tanisha, what advice do you have for Fabian? We're helping each other. I'll represent in a moment. That's if you have any.
I'm
And as
thinking,
you
but I
go
don't even
ahead.
know what to say.
Okay. I guess we would need to understand a bit more about.
Fabian said he doesn't feel lonely.
Okay, so Fabian, what you feel then?
It's actually a mixture of the other stuff. Not lonely. I'm not feeling lonely.
Okay, so what are those other stuff? I don't think we were
Well, based on the wheel
understanding.
that I saw a part that says happy, um, optimistic. So that's why I said it's a mixture of,
Oh, okay.
but
Okay,
not lonely.
understand.
Yeah.
Understand. All right, so I think we need to dig deeper into loneliness and then we can move on a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What is the source, if you are willing to share, of the loneliness you feel? Do you know? Is it that I'm gonna ask some prompting questions and then they can answer as honestly and as openly as they want to? But is it that you want to be married for those who are not married? Is it that you miss the little wrap up? Or, you'd want that maybe you were living in a life before where you had, romantic relations, but now it's not there? Or is it the case where you used to live with family members and now you're in a different space? I want to understand the loneliness so we can begin to work on it.
For me, Rashina, I'm always alone. I live by myself, and I've been doing so for years. And well,
Mhm.
through it all, I'm always single. So for me, my life is really work, church, work,
Oh
church.
boy.
And I
Oh
don't have
boy.
any
Oh boy.
like friendships, like as you mentioned, that are like deep like that. So if I'm going through like a really rough time,
Hmm.
likely I'm by myself, just praying and crying it out. So like that's really where my loneliness come from. It's as if I don't have anybody to really walk with me through, not just the lows but the highs in life. So it's like just a journey by myself and God.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
where it comes from.
Oh, okay. Totally understand. Thanks for being so open and sharing that. All right. Fabian says that he want to wrap up. Let me go and read this thing. Fabian is being funny in the chat. Um, Fabian says that he doesn't feel lonely. Yes, more wrap up, but me not feel too lonely. Okay. Thank you for being honest. Tatiana, can you let us in a little bit more on the loneliness that you feel? If you want, you don't have to.
And I also feel lonely when it comes down to business because I feel like people just not think oh me I think. They might think sorry, mediocre and regular with them. Me I think international and excellent. So I feel lonely as it relates to business, entrepreneurship, just the money and everything. Everybody that's a thing about just the regular. Yes. Yeah, apart from it, kind of feel alone.
All right. So I think one of the things persons who love business lack, and I face a struggle too, is community. Having persons who are like-minded. When I just think about, oh, one cook shop or oh, may I just keep one fish fry, but something on a different level, something more, something that seems, like you really want to level up. All right. Thank you for sharing. I have some
Yeah.
more emotions on this screen. Go ahead.
In addition to that, this is one of the reasons why I decided to move out of my family house at the age of
Mm-hmm.
20 years old. Because everybody was just thinking like just on a not even below sea level, like
Mm-hmm.
very low, like L low. So I felt like I was like a shark in a little aquarium, like a little fish tank. Like no
Yeah.
space to swim around, but there's a figure from side to side, up and down. Until me launch out now and decide to move up on until and then now things start make sense. But there's still not much there's not much community
Mm-hmm.
persons that is like-minded, or explore different business ventures and just don't not afraid to fail. I just love to risk like myself. But
Yeah.
yeah, down
Yeah.
there, business wise, yeah.
Understand.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing that, Fabian. I really do hope you find that community. But as a person who is similar to you too, I think that sometimes it might be difficult because the task and the purpose and the level of pull that you're feeling, not a lot of persons have it. And that's why when persons are successful, other persons look at them like, oh my God, how did you do this? But they don't understand the level of pressure and pain that you
Right,
went
right.
through in order to get there. So you have to just go through your go through and see
Yes.
how best you can find a community online. And I'll also say that finding community sometimes sounds sad, but you might have to pay for the community. You might have to do investment in joining classes or joining groups so that you can mesh among those people. They're not common people, so you won't find them in common places.
Yes, yes.
Yes, so let's continue to do some more soul searching. And we're going to list a few um issues that persons tend to have, and we're gonna see if we fall in any of those brackets and if how we can work on it so we can really heal and level up. So one of the words that we have here is anxiety. Anxiety. Um, I don't know if anybody struggles with that, but anxiety is basically persistent worry or fear about certain future events. Anxiety is basically living in the future too much. And if you look on the screen, it shows you some symptoms of anxiety. So you can look, and if you see anything that applies to you, or if you're experiencing any of those things, you can share and we can talk about it. But when it comes to anxiety, the Bible says what? Be anxious for nothing, but in everything through prayer and supplication, you should make your request be made known unto God. And so when you are in that state of constant anxiety, that's the enemy wanting to shake you out of your space. So instead of actually stepping out on faith and doing the thing that God has called you to, you say, boy, what if me do it and me fail? Hmm? But what if you never do it and your life stays stuck? You want to build a house, you want to get married. They say, boy, everybody marriage a fail. Me now but I'm married. You understand? Whatever it is to get to the next level or take a next step or start a new chapter in your life, you have to work on managing the anxieties. So the overthinking, nah. The constant what if this happen, what if. So you have free will. You have free will. And I would love to see more people using up the free will. Did you know that the life you have now, you don't have to have it? You can literally go online and do some research. You're here today, and by next week, you're gone somewhere else. Why? Because you would have applied for a job somewhere, you would have decided to move somewhere else. You would have decided to start a new project, something that fills you. So if you want, you can always feel free to screenshot these things and work through them a little bit. Um, Let me see. I won't spend too long on each of them because there are quite a few of them. And so I even have here common anxiety triggers in life. So some things that probably trigger you: stress, financial concerns, worry, challenging parent challenges. You're a parent and your partner just give you a problem, or you're truly concerned about something with your child's health or so. Maybe you have relationship issues. Maybe you have mental issues otherwise. All right. Um, so what you need to do in order to level up, you have to spend some time with you, talking to yourself and say, listen, Fabian, you can't live life so. Anxiety only comes to cripple you. It's a tactic of the enemy to keep you stuck and for you to not hear God's voice. And God's voice is not bringing anxiety to you. God's voice is actually saying, and if you read Second Timothy 1 verse 7, it says, I have not given you a spirit of fear. I have not given you anxiety, but what I have given you is power. Power to get wealth, power to establish his covenant, power to be more, power to do more. Um, God has given you love and a sound mind. So anxiety want you to think yourself into a hole. But God also says, cast your anxiety on him because what? He cares for you. So I know that this might not be what some persons expect tonight, but we are working on our inner being. A lot of persons outside of like financial problems, a lot of persons battling deeply with internal problems. And if you're battling internally, it can stifle your money. If you're struggling with who you are and struggling with those internal battles, it can stop you from really making money. And we don't want that to happen. All right. You have to pay attention to the screen because I won't be reading everything, but these are some ways that you can help be helped when it comes to anxiety. Next is depression. Are you depressed? Anybody depressed? Do you think you're depressed? So depression is a prolonged state of sadness, hopelessness, or you just lack motivation. And this could come because of various reasons. It could be a chemical imbalance in your brain, it could be grief, it could be why you're just dissatisfied with life, or maybe some unresolved trauma that really caused you pain. Um, and how do you know that it's a possibility that you are struggling with depression? You just don't want to do nothing anymore. You just withdraw from activities. You just feel worthless. You just feel like you can't bother. Mind and thoughts always negative. You may want to get that checked out. I know that Jamaica doesn't have a lot of um, therapists like that, especially for free. We do have clinics in each region. If you're in Jamaica, that you can go to, but sometimes those do take a time. So if you have money, you can pay money to talk to somebody about these things that you're feeling, or you have friends, you have parents, you have pastors that might can help you. All right. So the next thing I want us, as we're soul searching, so we looked at anxiety, we spoke about depression, we spoke about which one was that? Yeah. And the next one now is fear of failure. You fear failing. Is there anybody that is fearful of failing? Fearful of failing. What if it not work? What if me not become nothing in a life? You have to work through those things because again, remember the Bible says God has not given you a spirit of fear. And if you really believe that God is faithful and true and able to keep you, then you have to learn to trust his words. Go ahead, Fabian. I see your hand raised.
Quick question. Fear of failure and fear of starting over is the same thing?
Um, why are you fearful of starting over?
Like for me now, like me move out and me buy much furniture and stuff, and so
Mm-hmm.
me don't like the fear is to start over from scratch because it's a lot of money when we spend. So like, it's like that's the way, but I wonder if it's the same.
It could be because is it that you're fearful that you might fail at living on your own and therefore you might have to sell everything and move back in and then um one day in the future buy everything all over again? Is it like that?
No, not really. Like I'll lose everything. Like this, bam.
Okay.
Like
It
anyway,
could
anyway.
be.
Okay.
It could be fear of failure. Because why would you lose everything? Means that you might have and if anybody else wants to chime in, you can feel free to do that. But it could be,
Mm.
and that could
I
be
like God forbid, like me lose my business page with almost 17,000 followers. Like them weird, like is it fear of failure even though I didn't fail but I lost something? Is it the same?
I don't it depends. It depends, but I don't not wanting to lose your followers, especially because of business.
Yeah.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I don't know if anybody else wants to chime in, but once it's not taking over your life like you can't function every minute, you go ahead. Somebody was saying something? Can't even see. Okay. Once you're not going online every 5 seconds, checking, and you know, then I think
Yeah.
you have it under control. But I think it is somewhat normal to not want to lose the things that you hold dear. So it might not necessarily be a fear of failure, but
Okay.
protective of the assets that God has given you.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So fear of failure is a deep-rooted fear in not succeeding, leading to avoidance of tasks or challenges. Boy, I wonder if I have this. So you don't do the thing because you don't want to fail. So you just avoid the task altogether. That might be an issue because there are many of us that God is calling to start projects, but we don't do it. Maybe God is calling to start a men's group, you know, but for whatever reason you avoid it and you go around and you're doing something else, or God has called you to teach young girls or whatever it is. But you say, boy, so much people that do it already. What if it don't work out? Or so and so started it, but it never worked out for them. What make it go work out for me? So we've gone through. So we looked at anxiety quickly. We've looked at depression quickly. We have looked at fear of failure. We have looked at fear of failure. So fear. The reason why you might fear failure is maybe because of past failures, maybe from when you were younger. Or maybe you have deep-rooted perfectionism, meaning if things not perfect, it doesn't value nothing to you. Or external pressures, maybe your parent used to pressure you, or your society pressure you, or whatever you're consuming is pressuring you. So as it relates to soul searching, you have to ensure that you're protecting the soul that you have, because in your soul is what makes you uniquely you. And so if you have all of these things battling with, you won't be able to walk in the purpose and the plans that God has for you. Imagine a CEO who is drowning in anxiety and depression and fear of failure. So if right now you are going through times of difficulty, maybe low self-esteem, you're struggling with your identity, you're struggling in your feelings, take this moment as a time that God has set aside for you to heal and grow. God is such a good God that He doesn't want to wait until you're in the limelight, on the spotlight, to deal with these issues, but He wants you to deal with them before, so that when you get on the spotlight, you would have already known who you are and confident in who He has called you to be. And you don't walk around unsure, but you're confident because you are healed and you know what God has called you to be. So the Bible says, do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. And as we go through these things, you will realize that when you begin to struggle with these internal battles, if you should go back to the Word of God, you would realize that the reason why you struggle is because you have shifted from believing what God says. But when you believe what God says about fear and failure and that He will provide for you, then these things won't be such a bother to you anymore. So if you are struggling with fear of failure, you can just start out by setting small goals for yourself. And this is something I'm taking for myself. Ooh. Set small goals for yourself and remind yourself in time past when you would have succeeded. And then you just take your time and walk small. If you need to, get an accountability partner. Get somebody that can encourage you along the journey. All right. So so we did anxiety, we did depression, we did fear of failure. Which other one we do? And now we're moving on to low self-esteem. Ooh, this one is something that many people struggle with and they don't even know. So low self-esteem is a negative evaluation of oneself. And when you have that negative evaluation of yourself, it leads to self-doubt and insecurities. And then people who are insecure, they often try to seek validation through other things, whether through men, women, sex, drugs, going into places and in groups among people who you don't belong with. So and you're trying to get external validation from people to make you feel better. Um, as I'm talking about low self-esteem, do you know anybody that you think has low self-esteem? And how did you deduce that they have low self-esteem? If you want to share. All right. That's okay. You know, you don't always have to share. So, so if for me, and another thing, if you're going to level up, I'm telling you, if you want to be that boss babe, if you want to be top man, you cannot walk around with low self-esteem. That is something you definitely have to work on. Because imagine you are entering into boardrooms. Imagine you're entering rooms with your clients and you are not sure of yourself. And you're fishing for compliments from your potential business partners and your clients, or you are engaging in negative self-talk, then those persons can't take you seriously, because if you are not sure about yourself, then it means that you're not sure about what you are doing. The business proposal, if you can't manage your own self, persons won't trust you to know that you can manage things for them, and you won't be elevated to the level that you need to be. And low self-esteem can also affect you in your relationships. I don't know about anybody else, but though I help persons with low self-esteem, I can't have people with low self-esteem as my friends because it's draining. Always needing somebody to make you feel better, it's too much. It's way, way, way too much. So if you have somebody that you know that is struggling with low self-esteem, see how best you can assist them. And just remember God's word in all of these battles. Remember God's word and what God says. So if you are struggling with low self-esteem, it's possible that you battling with the spirit of rejection and unworthiness, but the scripture says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are a chosen person. You're a royal priesthood. You're a holy nation. You are God's special possession. And remember, you're chosen. You are chosen. If you are going to level up again, I'm telling you, you cannot walk around feeling unworthy. You have to learn to affirm your worth through what God says and replace every negative thought that you've been having with positive thoughts and with what God actually says about you. There are times when you might have maybe have a body part where you're not like, but you have to learn to love it because it's a part of who you are. That's a part of what makes you unique. So if you haven't started or you're working on it, I implore you to take the step necessary to work on these issues that you may battle with in your soul. Again, whether it is anxiety, depression, fear of failure, um, or is even low self-esteem. All right, so Tanisha, I don't, or whosoever is available, do you mind reading what's on the screen? We're now looking at perfectionism, and this is a big one.
All right. Hey, I think this one is for me. So definition, the need to be flawless and the inability to accept anything less than perfect. And the possible causes, fear of criticism, upbringing, or a desire to gain approval. And manifestation of perfectionism may look like overworking, burnout, constant dissatisfaction with results.
All right, thank you. So based on what Tanisha just shared, anybody have anybody can relate to this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and share. We're listening.
I think this one is me, Rashina, because I was listening, trying to figure out. I was gonna ask you, what do you think this condition is? And I think it may fall under this. For example, you know, I'm working on something that God wants me to do. But every time I try to do it, it's like I cancel or delete it because I'm like, it doesn't look the way I want to, or it's not giving me that excellence that I like. So it's like I end up doing the same thing over and over again for months now that I think about it, and I cannot even move forward because it still doesn't match up to what I have in mind or how I want it to look. So I think this may sound like it. I don't know. What do you think?
It could be perfectionism, or another one that I think is somewhere in the list. It could also be self-sabotage.
Oh
Could be.
Jesus. Yeah.
She said, "Oh Jesus."
Yeah, but that's my struggle. It's not that I'm
Okay.
not trying, it's just that I don't know, it just doesn't look like what I know I can do. And
Yeah.
yes, so it's like I'm looking for a certain quality that I know I'm capable of,
Uh-huh.
but it's like I'm trying to get there, but in the trying is like time is passing. And I feel
Trust
like
me,
a failure.
I can definitely relate. This is something I struggled with deeply last year, about November, December, them time there,
Yeah.
when the Lord was saying, you need to go up on TikTok. I mean, I said, God, but I'm not have the perfect background. I'm
Oh
gonna have,
Lord, that sounds like me.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna want to look aesthetically pleasing, you know? And I
Yeah.
want mic, and I want this, and I want that. But a lot of times with perfectionism too, you find out that even when you do get the thing that you think you wanted to start, you still don't start.
Yeah.
Because perfectionism too can also be rooted in fear of failure or fear
Mm-hmm.
of success. So some sort of
Mm-hmm.
fear
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
can be in the midst. So I hope that everybody's listening, even if you're not responding, but you are also, doing some soul searching too. Because we want to level up, and 2026 now to catch you so, We are, as a matter of fact, 2025 is not ending with us in the same place because we're
Mm.
leveling up, okay? Yeah. So perfectionism, you know, and what I want to add with perfectionism, there are people out here making millions off of imperfect products.
Yeah.
And while you were sharing, Tanisha, a thought just came to me that I feel is so wild and so profound. And you might think it's silly, but you know how often we say Chinese clothes are not made properly, and Chinese clothes this, and Chinese shoes not good, and this not good, and that not good.
Mhm.
But the same iPhones that we have, a lot of the cars that we um, car parts and a lot of the things that we use, they are still from the Chinese. And I think they have cracked a code understanding their market and understanding the purpose that they serve. They understand that they don't need to be perfect. They understand that they don't need to make a shoe that will last you for 10 years. They understand that they need to make a shoe that will last you for maybe the next 3 months, 6 months.
Yeah.
And because that is what some can afford. So
Mm-hmm.
in God calling you, you have to understand that there are levels to this thing. And at each level, if He has called you, you will be serving His people. And you have to trust that.
Yeah.
When I come on here, it's not like I know everything. Would I have wanted to turn on my camera tonight? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. But I don't think you guys want me to turn my camera on. Understand?
Yeah.
There are people, and there's another thing too. I think I read this in a book. I don't know if it's Rich Dad Poor Dad or some book, maybe by Robert Kiyosaki or one of those people. And they were explaining how the kids who were like perfectionists and like what you call them nerds and wanted to have the perfect grades, those persons are now working for the persons who mastered the art of not allowing perfectionism to bother them, but just flow and go along with it. And as I said, while you're waiting to be perfect, time is going. And the Bible also says, in your weakness, his strength is made perfect. Not in your perfection, then he will, whatever. When you're not perfect and when you're weak in an area, that's where God shines and gets the glory. And that's why we do what we do anyway, for him to get the glory. So I think there are persons in the chat. Anybody else wants to add anything to perfectionism? Yes, Fabian. So persons out there building generational wealth on their crooked business plan, but you sit down writing, wanting to make it perfect, and the world not seeing one thing. So I implore you, Tanisha, I'm talking to myself too, to write the book. I see people who have not a degree and them I write book and them I make money. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen I've seen people who when they started their YouTube channels or they started their TikTok, they had 200 followers, they had 8 followers. They looked a mess, the video is dark, and
Yeah.
now when you see them, you're like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
that's growth. So allow yourself to grow.
Yeah.
Perfectionism is a thief. Perfectionism is a thief. You would want to say, hey, I'm gonna, you know, you say you want to build a house, but because I want to have this and that 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 and that. You not have all of that, so you never start build a house. And now you are 55 and you still not live anywhere. But if you had started digging foundation and little, you would have reached somewhere and allow yourself to grow. So oh, let me turn your attention to this too. Um, Perfectionism also is rooted in the spirit of pride. It could be that you're full of pride and performance. So think about that.
Oh Lord.
One time, Prophet Richard Rose said to me that, we used to pray a lot together on the phone, and he would, we pray for each other, and we know each other's mess parts. And he said to me that, somewhere deep within you is pride. I said, pride? No, sir. Which that was a quick display of pride by, saying no at first glance. But when I began to understand the different ways in which pride shows up, I was saying, wow, may I have pride for you? The fact that you don't want to see anybody to see you fail, you don't want anybody to see you mess up, the fact that you think you need to have it perfect and all of that, a lot of that. And I'm not saying persons shouldn't be excellent, of course,
Mhm.
but then we have to check ourselves for pride too.
Mhm. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope we're getting it and we're working through these things. My aim here is just to open our eyes a little bit so that we can do the inner work when we get off this Zoom. You ask yourself some questions, you do some more research on ChatGPT, on Google, on TikTok, on YouTube to work on you, right? So focus on progress, man, not perfection, and learn to delegate tasks and ask for help when needed.
Rusheena, I have something I want to ask on that
Okay.
point because it's helping me. Um, all right, so God is using me in the area of speaking, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the thing that bothers me, which is one of the reasons why I struggle with trying to do things over and over again, is because in speaking, I don't want to say if I was born with it, but it was always like that from I've known myself. I have a speech deficit, right?
Okay.
Yes, so it's like I get tongue-tied or I may stutter, but it happens when I'm really flowing, and it's almost like my brain may be moving faster than my mouth. I don't know or which one. I don't know, but somewhere along the line, I don't
Mm-hmm.
sound like how I want to. And what
Mm-hmm.
happens is when I was younger, now I've gotten over that hump, but what would happen is whenever I would try to speak and it happens, it's like it breaks my confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Because like even when God started to use me in the area of like ministry at church to like teach and stuff like that. I remember one Sunday it happened and I remember it really made me feel bad. People were like, Tanisha, you were so good, we love the sermon, whatever. But it's like for me, it was like that one moment when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's like afterwards it crushed me.
Oh wow. Oh
And
wow.
so it's like something that is just there. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like I feel like God keeps telling me like it would be the reason why people will actually gravitate towards it because it's like it shows, I guess, in the weakness, how God can still get glory
Yeah.
out of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to use the story of Moses to encourage myself.
Yeah, that's a
But
good one.
yeah, but it's just really that. It's
Yeah.
hard.
Thank you for sharing that. Does
Uh,
anybody want to chime in and say anything as it relates to that before I say anything? I'm glad that you mentioned what you just said because one of the things I understand when it even comes to like content creation and public speaking and stuff like that, people want people want to listen to people who are relatable. People want to listen to people who they see that they're humans too. So while you level up and you set a certain standard, people want to see that, hey, this person, they're so excellent, but they still have flaws. And so if they have flaws and they're doing so well, then I can do it too. So your speech impediment, I and I've noticed how you speak, but I've never had an issue with it, to be honest. And I love when you teach. For those who don't know, Tanisha is an excellent teacher. She really, really is. So that's a part of you being uniquely you. But if you don't want that, there's speech therapies. The more, and I think too, the more you engage in public speaking, the more opportunities you will get to grow and overcome that issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh, another thing I want to point out before anybody else hops off is, um, you really want to do some soul searching. Why? You want to engage in soul searching because these areas is where the enemy finds loopholes to enter into your life and oppress you. The enemy loves to oppress people. That's like one of his hobbies, you know? You know, some people hobbies is playing basketball. No. The devil's hobby, one of them is oppression and to get you to not walk in your purpose. And notice how all of these things play against your purpose and advancing the kingdom and the will of God. Depression, anxiety, fear of failure, all of these things is to get you not to become your best self. And so the next one we're going to be looking at quickly is imposter syndrome, feeling like you don't belong, feeling like you really don't belong. I'll share with you guys um, the first time I've ever felt super weird was not a long time ago, maybe like 2, 3 years ago. I went to Chick-fil-A in America and I saw Chick-fil-A and I said, "Oh, I want Chick-fil-A." And I walked into the restaurant. I went in there and I didn't know what to order, looked at the menu, and I ordered. And whilst I was in there, I started to feel very uncomfortable, like I don't belong. Though I had my money to pay for what I needed, I looked around and I realized that I was the only one of my color in the restaurant. And so I just immediately wanted to come out of that space. I felt like I didn't belong. I felt like, I began to, I felt myself within me started to shrink. And you know what I did? I collected my meal and I didn't even sit down inside the place to eat. I left because I felt like an imposter. I felt like I did not belong in there. Though I'm human being, though I had my money, though I'm, all of that. And so a lot of times that's how some of us treat our lives, like we don't belong. We don't even give ourselves a true chance at success or at happiness. So imposter syndrome is feeling like a fraud, feeling like you don't belong in a particular space despite the evidence that you do belong there, or you despite evidence of success. So the reason why you might have these things, it just lacks, you have self-doubt, you lack confidence, and sometimes you don't know that you have self-sabotage, but in order to compensate for this, you start to over prepare and you feel like somehow at some point somebody's going to look at you and say, "Hey, you don't belong in this position," or "You don't deserve this type of man," or um you don't deserve this amount of money, you don't deserve this house." So um I want you to remember that you belong because you are chosen. And the Bible says that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. So don't be deceived. Don't be deceived. If you want to date outside of your race, once God allows it, then who is to stop you? If you want to live in a different country, who is to stop you? If you want to go into a field of engineering but you feel like a pure man in the field, who is to stop you? Understand? So step into the positions and the roles that God has called you to. If it is content creation, if it is ministry, if it is whatever it is, a new role at church, at work, step into it. Give yourself a chance to be great. Don't feel like an imposter. Give yourself a chance to be great. Please. Um, Imposter syndrome. Has anybody ever felt like they don't belong? You can tell us if you want. We're doing soul searching. If not, it's fine. Let me see what's going on in the chat here. Fabian says, enough time. Can you share with us maybe a specific time when you felt that way? See if anybody can relate. You know, there are some persons you don't feel, you're in a space where a person speaks so properly and pour you. Your English not that bad but sometimes they're not sure when to use have and has and when to use is and are and were and when, and you don't really know the grammar like that. So you kind of just, you say, no, sir, better them ask so and so to do it. So you start to give away, say, no man, make so and so the leader, make so and so the this and that, because what? You feel like an imposter, like you don't belong, though you are really good at what you do. Did I see somebody on mute just now? If you want to share, you can.
I was just gonna say, the only time I feel like I don't belong is whenever I try to get a regular job and start
When you do
working.
what?
Like a 9 to 5 job. Because, well, yeah, that's the only time, because I mean, I don't know why, if I'm stubborn or what, if you just do the business full time or what, or if I just glad enough. But whenever I get a new job and started for like a month, just start feel like I'm not belong at a place, and just start feeling
Okay.
burnt out. So yeah, that's the only time I feel like
Okay. Thank you for sharing that,
I'm
Fabian.
not sure if it's a
Some
sign.
Go ahead. Your microphone is kind of low.
I'm not sure if it's a sign for me to you hear me?
Yeah, a bit better now.
I'm not sure if it's a sign for me to just do my thing full time.
Okay.
Yeah.
May I just say that as we do soul searching, one of the things you're gonna have to learn to do too is discern. Um, because you have to then know, what it is. Because sometimes you don't feel like you belong because you really don't belong. Maybe God doesn't want it to be in that space, in that spot. Understand? So sometimes feeling like you don't belong in a place. Once it is that, it's not that when you go, you feel inferior to anybody or you feel like people don't want you there. But it's like you have an inner knowing, like something telling me that I'm just not supposed to be here or doing this type of job. I'm supposed to be doing something else. So it could be that. All right, so we have a few more we're gonna rush through because it's almost 9 and we don't want to be here on here too long. So another thing that you have to work through too if you want to level up is procrastination. Start the business, write the book, go back to school. Whether school might be 4 or 5 years long, but whether you go to school or not, those 4 or 5 years will pass. So it might as well you get a degree in those times. You understand? Stop procrastinate, man. Stop delaying tasks. So procrastination is the habit of delaying tasks, often because of fear of feeling overwhelmed. Sometimes this happens to people because, again, fear of failure, because of perfectionism or lack of motivation. So when you procrastinate, you are literally holding yourself back from success. Write the to-do list and begin to work on the tasks that you have to do. Don't procrastinate any longer. These sound so simple, but these are some of the things that enemy use to hold people back. And when you blink, what? You're 55, and you still not accomplish what you really wanted to accomplish. And it's still at your heart. It was on your heart at the age of 27, and at 55, it's still on your heart. Because God is not finished with you yet, and He still wants you to start the children's group. He still wants you to build the business. He still wants you to travel across. He still wants you to do those researches. So get with the program, yo. We are in our peak season and we're leveling up. But you can't level up and procrastinate at the same time. It does not work. It does not work. And to be honest, when it comes to leveling up and success, there is there's a component of discomfort that you must embrace to get there. You must embrace that discomfort. You must embrace it. All right. I think there's something in the chat. Yes. So the next one is comparison. Lord Jesus, help us. Comparing your business to somebody who started 20 years ago and you are just 20-year old. Come on now. How is that fair to you? How is that fair to the person who started long time? You are 20 and the person started 20 years ago, which means that they're probably 50 or 45 or whatever. You have to give yourself grace. And comparison is the act of measuring yourself against others, often leading to feeling inadequate. Can't do that. When you compare yourself to others in that way, what you're telling God is that God didn't do a good job making you. And yes, we understand that some person's life seems to be more, decorated than others are. But the fact is that you have life and God has given us all something to work with. Take your thing and make it work for you. If you can run, don't compare to yourself to somebody that can build furniture. If you can cook, don't compare yourself to somebody who is in medicine. There's so many times, I'm gonna rat myself out. In my home, I don't make fried chicken. Why? Because I can't make. Well, maybe I could make fried chicken, but if I make fried chicken, it's not gonna be nearly as good as Fabian's fried chicken. So maybe Fabian need to teach me how to fry chicken. You understand? But I don't go around comparing myself. Why? Because Fabian is a literal chef, and I am not. So don't compare yourself to people. Walk in your own lane. Run your own race. And sometimes we're on social media, we're comparing ourselves, we compare to other nail tech, we compare to other lawyers, we compare to other chefs, we compare to other business owners, we compare ourselves against our classmates and the people who we grew up with, and we see what them have and what we don't have. Walk in your lane. Walk in your lane. You compare yourself to all kind of people, but you don't see the blessings that you have. Careful of comparison because you might just be jealous of people and carry the spirit of envy. And we know that God doesn't love those things. And as I was saying earlier about social media, sometimes we might need to log off and take up a book and write down our own life and plan our own life. All right. So I'm going to run through the rest that we have here. If you want access to the PowerPoint here, I can give it to you to look through the other stuff. But soul searching, some persons struggle with body image. You're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too large, you're too thin, you're too tall, you're too slender, you're too heavy, your head too big, your foot too long, all kind of worries. If you're gonna level up, you have to become comfortable with the body that you have, with what God bless you with. And some of us, the issues that we have with our body is something that we can actually change with discipline. Amen. We can work on it through discipline. For some of the things that God is calling some of us to, we have to have a healthy body. For the family that you're praying to God that you want, if you don't eat healthy and take care of your body, God forbid, you're gonna die left them. You're gonna dead left them because you're not healthy. You're not healthy. So we have to learn to take care of the one body that God has given us. And oh, loneliness. We were talking about loneliness earlier. Um, hold on, let me go back. Why is this thing not? So we're almost at the end. So loneliness is feeling isolated or disconnected, even when surrounded by others. So possibly what can cause you to feel lonely, as we were discussing earlier, is a life transition. Sometimes you have some emotional wounds. And sometimes you just feel socially isolated, like you're not around the type of people that you would want to be around. So you're so because of that loneliness, you just crave deeper connection. Or sometimes it can lead you to feel unseen or withdrawn. Um, my recommendation for persons who feel lonely: one, build a relationship with yourself. Yeah. Two, join a community group. Take the initiative to reach out to persons you may never know, or nurture an existing relationship that you have. Look for your mother, look for your grandmother. Go out, meet new people, network. Put yourself in those places to, you know, be healed and to be whole. So we're basically at the end, and I don't know which of these battles you can relate to most, whether it's anxiety, depression, comparison, loneliness, fear of failure, procrastination, negative body image, low self-esteem, perfectionism, or imposter syndrome, whichever. And trust me, there are more of these things, but I wanted to bring some of these up so we can start to work through how we feel. You have to work through those things because whether you want to believe it or not, remember at the beginning I was telling you about the different parts of the soul: your mind, your will, your mind, and your emotions. When these things, when you're not healed from these things, you make decisions from low self-esteem. And when you make a decision because you have low self-esteem, you end up choosing the wrong partner. And then you have kids with that person that messes up your entire life. You make business decisions out of fear. And if you're gonna level up, you have to have a good grip on these things so that you live the best life possible. So that brings us to the end of tonight's soul searching. Is there anything that resonated with you or anything you want to share before we close out? Feel free, man. Asking Tatiana to unmute. I see if I can unmute our button. I want to hear from you guys if you want to. Go ahead. I'm here to listen. Hey, Marsha.
I have a scenario. Um,
Not hearing you, Fabian.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
We don't want to talk too loud because my door is open. I'm gonna shut on the outside and listen. But you can hear me clear,
Yeah, yeah, clear, just low.
right? Oh my days. Hold on there. You can hear me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Just have to put my ears close to the speaker. It's fine. Go ahead.
All right. So with my business, the exotic flames, the
Mm-hmm.
catering and the seafood stuff. As I shared earlier, the 9 to 5 thing is not working out for me. I'm not sure why, but maybe it's just a sign that I should just do my thing full time because it is
Mm-hmm.
profitable and I see where it would be successful if we just do it full time. But my issue is I need a reliable, no, not reliable. I need a vehicle that I can use to do the deliveries in
Oh,
case
okay.
of any orders in the week. But
Mm-hmm.
my reason for not going full time is because I know that I would have to rent the vehicle, number one, or short my driver that bringing me on Saturdays for the seafood delivery every day of the week because persons call me almost every day trying to
Mm.
orders. So is it
Mm-hmm.
fear of failure or is it fear to do it full time and not become successful? Let me say me wait until me get a car for the full time. What would that be? I'm literally waiting
Okay.
on a vehicle so I can do it full time. Is that me being smart so I don't spend more because the driver would require more to charge to the vehicle? Or is it a case where I'm just fear to step over? Baby God can bless you with that vehicle. I want to know what is that because I'm struggling to just do it full time.
Okay. Thank you for being so open, and I love that you are on your level up journey to becoming the best chef in this place and around town and everywhere. Congratulations on your business and scaling your business, and I see where you have taken the step, as I said, to move out, and now that is going well for you.
Yes.
Of course, you probably would have had your struggles or whatever, but you're doing it.
Yes.
Question.
Hmm.
You are an adult.
Yes.
How how I don't want to find a way to ask the question. It's not a difficult question. It's just not coming out of my head properly. What's stopping you from driving? Do you have
Well,
your driving documents?
yes, I have my license for almost 2 years now, and I can drive. I would say,
Mm-hmm.
um, but I don't want to buy a vehicle cash. I don't think that's smart. Um, because I want to build my credit. But as it
Mm-hmm.
relates to doing it from the bank, I tried with Scotiabank, but for the 100% financing, that vehicle would be way out of my budget because I think I would have to be working extra hard to pay back that
Mm-hmm.
monthly fee. But for the vehicle that I would like, that would be able to fit my lifestyle and to fit my business, I would have to
Mm-hmm.
find a large sum to partner with the bank so they can give me a personal loan. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah, that's what's stopping me. I think I'm not sure if it's just fear to take on that large loan
I think I
because
think I think what you feel is definitely valid,
yeah,
especially as, a business owner, as a young man trying to make it and all of that. What I would say is that you do need sound financial advice,
yeah,
somebody that you can probably share your financial status with, and they can advise you further on how to take this step. Is it that though you might want a big car, or a big bus, or a big van, maybe you can't start with that yet,
hmm,
but maybe you have to start with something small and then scale. So your case, I think, needs a bit more conversation and somebody with expertise to also provide advice to you on if you're even going to take a loan, where.
yes,
Because certain banks may not be the best to take certain loans from. And then again, you have to consider your financial stance. You understand? Maybe you're looking for 100% loan. Would it be
hmm,
better to use a credit union instead of a Scotia Bank? You understand? So
hmm,
your case needs a little bit more conversation. But I think the fear that you have is, in a sense, valid, because you do need to think clearly before
yes,
you make such a decision.
yes, I
I
think
I
so.
don't think, I think a little bit of concern, nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Rashina, because I think there's a healthy fear too. Because
Yes.
The thing is, when I think the healthy fear kicks in is whenever you know you're thinking logically and trying to use wisdom. And it's like you understand that there's a risk and the consequences if you don't put certain things in place. Then you have that feeling like, oh, wait, I have to take a step back and process this. So it's like that is the healthy fear, as I would call it. But as long as it is not a case where you're not making a decision because of failure of what loss or anything like that, but you have a possible option, then I don't think it's bad. I think when fear is a problem, it's like whenever you're stuck and it's like there's clearly a way out, but it's like still you're not moving, you know?
Yeah.
But I think your thought process, as Rachel said, is like it's okay. I think you're really just being wise and trying
Yeah.
to just think things through logically. But at the same time, I think I agree with her. Like just try to figure out a solution with all the possible with all that you have going on, like talk to somebody and see how I can work out a solution. It may not be what I wanted, but you might have to start smaller but still to get things moving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the I think the word courage
Yeah,
is our bravery is not the absence
a
of
fear.
fear or danger.
It's like making a move despite being
Right, doing
fearful.
it anyway.
Yeah,
Those
courage is born out
variables.
of fear.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
So, and then what I love for your life too is that you don't have any immediate dependence. So at this age,
Yeah.
if you could really get some financial advice and pray on it and all of that and make a step, at least if you and understand what I'm saying, if things don't work out the way you would want them to, the risk factors aren't as high as somebody who's probably married with 3 kids and mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand? So, but I still would want you to make sound decisions, of course. So, look at your financial status and begin to weigh the options. Maybe for now, you have to go and hire somebody, or maybe you want to save. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, with hiring the driver, it can get pricey for if we do it every day. But
Mm.
I was thinking as it relates to vehicle, and like I said, we can buy one Pro Box around 80 wagon because I have a lot of catering for weddings scheduled for the end of this year going into next year. And
Mm-hmm.
getting that, I don't think that would be smart. So it kind of have me other way because I would need like a IS bus. I can fit all
Mm-hmm.
my equipments and stuff and everything.
Yeah.
But I wonder if I'm just thinking too big. I'm
Trust me,
just
I understand. Trust
Yeah.
me, I
yeah.
understand.
I get you.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not
Yeah.
for me, when I started working, I said, all right, I'm gonna buy a car. End up never buying no car. It's like every time I was supposed to buy a vehicle, there was a delay. And I didn't buy nothing. Ended up buying a house, still not buying a car. And I said, all right, because of the business I'm going to do with me, I might need like a Voxer, a step wagon or whatever, something that's bigger. And then there was still a delay until I had an event one day and I realized I rented a vehicle, a Voxer or something of that style, and what I wanted to do could not hold in the vehicle.
Hey,
And I said, but I said, but suppose me did buy this, then
child.
a problem. And so I'm maybe about 2, 3 years now since I actually bought a highest bus.
yeah.
So I understand sometimes every delay is for a reason, but I'd say go and save your money, go and pray on it, and go and look out at your item. Something will turn up.
Yeah.
I know some experience was similar delay because I was in the process of getting a RAV4, but
Mm-hmm.
it was very close. I paid the fee to for the bank to check my credit score. Everything came back good. I was ready to pay the processing fee, and the lady just called me and said, the bank won't approve it. That's she just called me and tell me that because it was so close because we find the vehicle, them send me the invoice, them send me all the documents. But
Mm-hmm.
when I look on it, the RAV4 wouldn't make sense. That would just be for luxury because that if you can hold two on the table, like all kind of
Yeah.
Right.
shift in front. So
Yeah.
that delay was,
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So if you just
Yeah.
give it some more thought and just go for
Mm-hmm.
it, as you said.
Yeah. Go and
Yeah.
bounce it, man.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Anybody else wants to share? Fabian, I appreciate your openness. I really, really do
Yeah,
appreciate your
thank you.
openness. Wow, okay. Since we're here spilling the beans, for me, I maybe you guys can help me. This chair is so noisy. So two things in one that I'm working on now, but I don't know, I feel scared, is writing this book, having an event, some book launch, plus, I would want to have annual level up events and also doing more TikTok lives on all of them under the same umbrella. Oh, guys, so those are the three things, but let me share something with you guys before you guys help me. So level up is now in schools. Oh my gosh, I forgot to share that. So level up, we now have level up club. So it's an after school club at school. First school it was launched in is Herbert Morrison Technical High, which is the school I currently work in. We have students running the club. I'm the staff advisor along with another person. But Level Up Club is now, we call it Level Up Lab. So where the students come and they get help to, become their best selves. And it is also being rolled out in William Memorial High. So little by little, I'm spreading
Yeah,
across.
that's a big deal. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
That is awesome.
Thank you. There are times when I feel like me not do nothing or me not do enough. But then when
No,
I actually
you're moving. You're growing. You're stepping. Trust me.
oh my
Congratulations.
yeah. Thank
You
you
should
guys.
feel very proud.
It helps me to see myself sometimes
Yes.
because when I'm doing anything, I say, oh, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
not doing
Mm-mm.
anything about I'm doing anything. We just had do and I be myself.
No, you're
So
making progress.
yeah.
Don't
So
despise the days of humble beginnings.
oh my gosh. And I think that's why the Lord is pushing me so much when it comes to like TikTok because he wants me to be out there so persons
Yeah.
can see
See
me. It's like he
you.
wants me
Yeah.
to gain visibility. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "But, all right, God, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my thing.
I feel
And he
like I'm
wants
yeah, I feel like I'm in a similar season.
mm,
But it's like step out because I do a lot of teachings in church as you're aware. But it's like God is like, Tanisha, you could go on social media and teach
oh my God.
because you're like that person. But
You
my
can do it.
thing, yeah, but my thing is the whole speeching, as I was saying before. I'm trying to do videos and it's just like, oh God. I'm not
Oh my
camera friendly at all, child. It takes practice. But I'm still I'm still trying. I'm still trying. But
you can.
I just get frustrated because it's like, that thread off. I should be like perfect. But I'm trying.
I'm proud that you are
Yeah.
trying. But trust me, when you see some of these people on social media, you say, but they're not perfect. They're not even speak proper English.
Yes. I
And they're
went
up
on
there.
there and Rusheena was scrolling. I saw this video and it's like I was listening to it and it was like it was good in terms of the content. And
Mm-hmm.
the message was really encouraging. And it
Mm-hmm.
was almost like God wanted me to see because it's like after I watched it, I was like, this boy just catch up on him bed, hold the phone up, like when I
Mm-hmm.
FaceTime, him have
Mm-hmm.
on him do rag.
Mm-hmm.
And his background is just like his room, just lounging. And
Yeah.
the video is viral. That's how I saw it anyways. And I'm here worried about background, proper lighting, the
Mm-hmm.
clothes I'm wearing. What do I
Mm-hmm.
do my face and I'm gonna online makeup here done, my edges.
Mm-hmm. It's all a distraction, girl. It's all a distraction. And I've been there, and
I
sometimes I
don't
still get caught
care.
in. And then, so Tanisha, Miss Carol says, tell yourself you are camera friendly.
Yes, thank you.
But I honestly understand. But one of the things I realized God is, God tries to make things so accessible and easy for us that honestly, when He comes, we have no complaint because TikTok literally has some features what
Yeah.
spread up your face fear, even if your face no spread.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready, Tanisha, if it's
Yeah.
TikTok, I can we do it together, girl.
Yeah. Thank you.
Together. Because I'm going to be taking this thing over to TikTok where we can have more, and then we'll have panels where we open the panel and you guys, I didn't invite you guys on too, and we just talk and we grow from there. Because I think though we're few here, I think the information that we share here could really help a lot of people.
Yeah, I think so too.
So,
You
and
could
I
be on
think
TED Talk, girl.
me,
Like people pay for these things. It could be on TED Talk.
girl,
It's really
listen.
sound content.
Listen, that's why I need to be visible, okay? I
Yeah.
need them brand deals and I need that money. And I love it. It's purpose. So I really want to go out and help as many people as I want. And I think God is pushing me into the visibility online and in real
Mhm.
life, and also in
Yeah.
digital
Yeah.
products, into products that can actually make money off books and
Yeah.
those things too. So right, Fabian. So pretty soon I was saying I was going to wait until next year, but before I came on, I just felt a push like, why you gonna wait till next year, girl?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
November.
Yeah.
November. No,
December.
November pass. So who knows, our Zooms might now turn into TikTok lives where, because it's still a public platform, we
Mhm.
will have more people over there, and you guys just the same. You can come into the box, we chat.
Yeah.
The good thing too is that when persons come in and they have conversations, your platform too can grow because people can choose to follow you, and I'm telling you, taps and roses. Yes. So, and we have opportunities to grow. So, come November, let's see, we might be over on TikTok, and it might be for more more days in the week. Maybe 3 days a week we go live or so. Honestly, I think I wouldn't say that I'm disobedient or stubborn, but I really felt the Lord saying, hey, TikTok, 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 TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like they're going to pretty soon roll out programs where just like with YouTube, content creators, not just in America and certain other places, but even in the Caribbean too, will be able to make money off the content itself, not just with live giftings and so, but with your content.
Yeah.
So I want to get over there and build build that community. I feel a push towards that. So me
Yeah.
now wait, but just I go do the thing. And I know you guys will support and I will support you guys too. So come November, get ready to be on TikTok, everybody. Yeah, everybody on TikTok. So Tanisha,
Mm-hmm.
not a speech impediment. Where we did you guys know that I have a speech impediment? I do. I literally have a lisp. I cannot pronounce. The next time I see you in person, me I go show on my face when I pronounce certain words. My tongue literally, what you call it, split or set a certain way. I never even recognized this until years ago when I really looked in the mirror. I can't say S words properly. My tongue set a certain way. So we're going over there with lisp and speech impediment and all. Yeah. You're on TikTok, right, Tanisha?
No.
No?
You know, it was the other day, well, a few days ago, somebody told me to download the app because I was off social media for years,
Mm,
almost Probably 5 years thereabout. I went back the end of last year because God told me to. And it was like from then he was talking to me about the whole, online presence.
Yes, girl, I'm telling
Yeah.
you. And I think that there is the boom has already started, but you don't. It's just like how a lot of us missed the YouTube train. We don't want
Mm-hmm.
to miss the TikTok train at all.
At all.
So let's get with it, girl. So get ready for November. Take you a photo, put it
Yeah.
up, download the app,
Yeah.
get ready to go live. Because we going
Yeah.
over. And I'm very serious about this.
I am. I am.
Okay.
I'm gonna try.
Fabian, get ready. Tatiana, I don't know if you're sleeping, but get ready. Marsha, get ready. We're going over TikTok. Where we going back?
Um,
Because I was over there already, and quite a few people I've met people, and people follow me and so we're going over there.
I actually created a digital product that it's a budgeting template,
Me
and
see
I
you.
actually get one sale from it. $10
What?
US. Yeah.
Look at that.
What?
Yeah, budgeting template. And it was I just went on Google Excel and I created this monthly budgeting template.
Oh my
Mighty
Posted,
God.
God.
yeah, $10. So
Love it.
imagine if I market it now on TikTok.
Exactly.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
And give
Look
yourself
at
time in a few years. Oh my
yes,
goodness.
yeah,
this is what God is pushing me into. I'm not, I said that I would have, oh, I'm gonna start it in January.
yeah,
No, November.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Start
Zoom will be
start
heading
your
over to
start
November
your 2026 early.
right now.
So next
And
year hit the ground running.
what I will do when I start on Zoom, as the conversations go by, if persons now want to pay me for private sessions, they
That's
can
it.
I can set them up on Zoom and we meet
Clock
on Zoom.
it. Clock it, girl.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So, and please, guys, encourage me. I'm not perfect, and I really, really need it. Like with this book and this TikTok and this, I need it, guys. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do. And with the event, I need you guys to give me your input on, I really want us to have like a nice, sophisticated event. If I even if we start small and then over the years we extend it and expand it,
Mm-hmm.
then, but I want that. I think it would be good.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm also seeking sponsorships too, so that, because one of the things I want to be able to do is create level up kits and
Mm-hmm.
give away to people who need it.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Please don't make it females only.
please don't do what?
Make it females only.
Right. That is very true, Fabian.
Because
Very,
realize
very
everybody just
Yeah, on female alone leveling
yeah,
up, child.
yeah.
true.
I create
I always
It's
seminars
true,
for
you
everybody
know.
only.
see a bag of man
True.
that
A
do
lot of
that.
man in that space. That's
Yeah.
true.
That is so, me always, like, even at work, I'm planning girl empowerment and boys empowerment. I mean, I say, for the boys, I don't even know what to do. It's not like I don't know what to do. But
Hmm.
when I think, I'm saying, I don't want to plan something for men, and I'm not a man, so I don't, whilst I have an
Yeah.
idea of what they might like, I don't even know which man to invite anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. But yes, Fabian, that is something I have thought about.
Yeah, man.
So I will definitely bear that in mind and be mindful.
Yes.
All right. And I want can still level up kits too. Jesus. Some nice pretty box. Hey. Oh my gosh. You guys are getting me excited. But we've been on here a while. Oh my gosh. We ended at 9:03 and it's 9:29 now and we're still on here chatting away.
Yeah.
Um But that is it for tonight. It's always a pleasure when you guys share your time with me. You know, never have to there, you know? But I'm there. I really, really love that. And you guys help me to believe in what God has called me to. That when God has called you to something, especially when it comes to public speaking and platforms,
Mhm.
that He will bring the people.
Yeah.
The people who should hear you, He will bring.
Hmm.
So you guys helped me to believe that I'm really grateful and thankful for you guys.
Mm. You're
Mhm.
welcome.
Um, so- oh,
Carol
Miss
said
Carol,
it. Yeah.
wow. Wow, girl, you up late, late. Thank you, Miss Carol. I appreciate you coming on so much. Thank you. She's all the way in the UK. All right, guys. I think this is it. It's 9:30, so
Miss
we are
Carol
going to.
said that you should let her know how she can sponsor you.
Aw,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Please don't let me cry up in this point. Don't- I will. I will. I really, really will. Um, I will. I it's because I have so many things doing between work and church and home. Sometimes things take a time to pen out, but I'm creating the list of items for the level up kits. And I want to thinking about t-shirts and a bunch of stuff, but I will let you guys in on everything as soon as. But please check in on me and ensure that I do what I'm supposed to do and I don't get distracted doing other things that are not bad things, but it's not what God wants me to do.
Yeah.